This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glynn Lavender.
Hi and welcome to episode 588 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com, and joining me once again from Melbourne, Victoria, from creativephotoworkshops.com.au, it is Mr. Glynn Lavender. How are you?
Hello.
With a delay plug-in.
Hello. I think that was a hello for each listener. So everyone got their own personal hello this morning.
Nice. How have you been for the last 5 weeks?
It's been 5 weeks. No.
I think it has.
What are you doing?
You know what I'm doing?
You're letting the listener down.
I am. I am totally letting the listener down.
But I'm here every day for you, Bruce. I'm here. You should call me. I'm here for you. Obviously, too highfalutin a lifestyle to want to do a podcast with me.
You know what's happened? I've gone down a rabbit hole.
Have you? But it's hard to podcast from down there because you can't move your elbows or anything.
That's right. Don't have a long enough microphone cable. Just after we got back from Croatia, I was on Facebook one day and saw someone in one of my audio groups selling a piece of software called SonarWorks Reference. And what SonarWorks Reference does... Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of an audio geek out for a couple of minutes.
So boring is what you're saying.
What this software... the software also comes with what's called a reference microphone, which is different to the sort of microphone you do a podcast with. It is designed to have a perfectly flat frequency response. And what SonarWorks Reference does is you install it on your computer and then you then say, this is where I mix and my speakers are 1.2 meters apart and I sit in this position and my distance from the speakers is X. And what it then does is it shows you on screen an overhead view of your head and your speakers, and it tells you, hold the microphone.
Can you see if you're going bald? Can you see if there's a ball patch that shows you?
Hold the microphone in this position, right? And so you've got to, move backwards and forwards until the microphone on screen, which is a representation of the microphone you're actually holding in your hand.
It's a reference one.
Is in the correct position. And when it gets in the correct position, the software runs a frequency sweep from 20 hertz to 20K through your speakers. And then it tells you to reposition the microphone. And you've got to do this repositioning 35 times, right? around the area where your head is when you're mixing. And what it does, once you've done these 35 calculations, is it works out the frequency response of the room that you are mixing audio in, and it works out where you've got peaks in the frequency response and troughs in the frequency response, which would be akin to, certain wavelengths of light being oversaturated in an image or undersaturated in an image. And what it then does is creates an inverse equalization curve to compensate for those peaks and troughs in your room. And so what it does is when you are mixing audio, it essentially means that, when I'm sitting here in the sweet spot doing a mix, the frequency response of the room is flat. And it has been an absolute game changer for me when I'm mixing music. The first mix I did after I'd installed this software, I sent it to Dave. I said, mate, just mucking around with some things, tell me how this mix sounds. And he came back and went, dude, that sounds freaking incredible. He said, that sounds like it's been mastered. And so I told him what had happened. And so over the last 3 months, I've just gone down this rabbit hole where I've gone, dude, I really want to go back and remix every song we've done in the last 25 years. Because this has changed the way mixes translate. So now I'll mix a song now and I'll go out to the stereo and play it on the stereo and it sounds amazing, and I put it on my phone and listen to it through earbuds and it sounds amazing, and I take it to work and I put it through my studio monitors at work and it sounds amazing. And I've never had that experience before. So, yes.
What if you put it in the cassette deck of your 1974 Kingswood with the mono speakers?
It would sound freaking amazing.
Oh, nice!
Really would.
Nice. I'll let you know when I get a 1974 Kingswood. We'll give it a shot.
Done. I have a cassette deck. I can run off a cassette for you.
Of course you do.
I do. In fact, Sorry, another audio-related story. My Facebook feed has been filled with these ads by an English company called Elastic Stage, who have obviously had a bit of a social marketing budget of late, and they will do a single pressing of vinyl for you if you want. So I've actually sent one of Dave's albums off to England and got two copies of vinyl pressed.
Man.
We've never done a vinyl pressing before, so, and it's just been shipped. I got an email yesterday to say it's been shipped. So
How exciting.
Yeah.
How exciting.
What a world we live in, where you can get a single piece of vinyl made.
I know. I saw that my Facebook's been advertising that exact thing, to get a single piece of vinyl made for $35 or something.
Wow.
You know, it
Wow.
keeps saying it. And my mate Adam, who's a musical junkie, when his 50th birthday next year, so I was thinking about making a personalised vinyl, because he's mad with the vinyls, collecting stuff. So maybe make a personalised 50th vinyl mix for him. You know,
That would be awesome. He would love that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing that you can do these days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can actually put licensed music on. I haven't actually looked into it deeply enough, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool indeed.
Yeah.
But here's a weird thing. Now, do you know how, because you're saying how your Facebook's been full of adverts for.
Yeah.
Yeah, how often you say something and then all of a sudden you start seeing adverts for it and you think your phone's listening to you. I had almost a reverse version of it.
Oh, okay.
So yesterday, I turned the TV on yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And being a smart TV, it shows all the channels, all the apps and stuff, but it also has recommendations.
Of course.
And in the corner of my eye, I saw this thing just saying kneecaps. And there's like 4 or 5.
And you thought, I need a new pair of those.
No, I didn't even really even register it, because I wasn't really I don't really look at that recommendations part. I go straight to what I want to watch. But my brain sort of picked that it was there.
Okay.
Then last night we were watching, my wife and I were watching the Australian music quiz show Spicks and Specks.
Oh, I love Spicks and Specks.
And there was this question that came up, and the answer was kneecaps. This Irish rap band, right? I mean, how obscure is it? And it's like, even then, nothing registered. Okay, Irish rap band, weird. Didn't register at all.
Yeah.
Then after that goes off, we go back to our normal home screen, and there's this thing I said, kneecaps. What is that? I've gone, it's a documentary on this Irish rap band.
No.
It's like, what is the chances of that? I mean, that is, it's precognition. You know? It's like so weird.
Honestly, Kath and I were sitting on the lounge the other night, and we weren't even watching TV. We were both just sitting there playing on our phones, but we were talking about something, and she mentioned some company, and like literally 60 seconds later, as I'm scrolling Facebook, I get an ad for that company. You know? It's like, don't tell me the device isn't listening to you.
Crazy stuff. You must have signed something at some point allowing it. Oh, well, let's talk to photography. Have you been doing any photography, Bruce?
Have I? No, because
in 5 weeks.
I'm supposed to have done portraits 10 days ago, but the person I was meant to shoot came down sick. So we agreed that I would shoot portraits with her on Monday of this week. And then Monday came along, and it was her first day on air, and she was like, no, I can't. I've just got to focus on my show. And I was like, yep, absolutely. Getting to air is much more important than getting these portraits done. And to be honest, she was not back to full health, and she struggled through until Wednesday, and then she's gone, nah, I just can't. I've got to go to the GP, and she went to the GP, and so she was off yesterday, and she's going to be off today, and so I was talking.
That's not a good start for your first show.
No, it's been rough, and I was talking to my boss yesterday, and she was saying, you know, had we known that she was going to be this crook, I would have just delayed her going to air by a week, you know, to give her time to get better, you know, because obviously trying to work while you're sick doesn't help your recovery, you know. So and the
stress and all that.
So at some point soon, I will be doing some portraits with Kylie. It's the usual suite of 3: a white backdrop shot, which was what we use as a presenter profile pic on the ABC Listen app and on the website. I'll then do a portrait of her in the studio, quote, in action, which will be the black and white that gets printed under glass and hung in the foyer of the Newcastle Bureau, along with the other 3 presenters, because we've had one retire, so she's replacing him, so I've got to shoot hers in a portrait orientation so it matches the one that we're replacing. And then there'll be a third one, which is more like I'll call it in air quotes, a lifestyle shot. We might go out to a coffee shop and, or maybe put her in a library and have her looking very, kind of
down at the park feeding the ducks.
Yeah, something like that. So,
I'm a real person too.
That's right.
That's what we call those photos. I'm a real person. I'm a real boy.
Yeah, so that's on the cards. It was meant to happen, a week and a half ago, but due to unforeseen circumstances, it has not. Oh. Beyond that, I went out for a walk with the dog yesterday morning, and I normally go for a bike ride with him, right? And I walked outside yesterday morning, and it was foggy, and the sun was just coming up, and I thought, I've got to take the camera and just go for a walk, take him for a walk instead of a bike ride and take the camera with me. And then, so I put my running shoes on, which are out in the shed, and then I walked back into the house to grab my camera and suddenly went, oh, crap, I've left my camera at work because I'm meant to be shooting these portraits with Kylie. So I didn't have my camera. So I thought, stuff it, I'm still going for a walk. I've got my phone. If I see anything, I'll shoot something on my phone. And as I was walking, the second half of our loop, there was this nice thing of the fog in the trees and the fingers of light coming through the trees. So
the cliche.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
we love a good cliche.
Snapped a shot of that and put it on the local. This estate that we live on has a Facebook group, so I put it on there and it's had 35, 40 likes or something. So
that's huge. That's gone viral.
That's right.
Community viral. Yeah? Everyone will be walking, you're the guy. You're that guy. The guy with the dog, and the camera, the photos.
The guy.
You've been taking photos through my windows. Stay away from my house.
What about you? Have you had a camera in your hand in the last 5 weeks?
I went and did some landscapes on the weekend.
You traitor!
There wasn't even a person in them.
You traitor! Absolute traitor.
Well, my eldest was away on a cruise for 9 days. He's at your end of the world. He was in Newcastle yesterday.
Oh, right.
Because that's where his partner's family lives. Yes. So he's up in Newcastle.
Right.
And they did a cruise from Sydney up to Cairns and back for 9 days.
Nice.
And so he was away. So we thought we'd take the young'un away for the weekend. So we went up to a place in Victoria called Garraword, or the Grampians.
Ah, yes.
Which is one of. Did
you catch up with David Marland?
No, because it was a quick overnight visit. There wasn't a lot of time.
Fair enough.
But it's a especially scenic place.
Yep.
Not for people like me who have a mass fear of heights, and so that kind of limits somewhat what you can do. But there are some flat areas that are reasonably photogenic. So I took a couple of landscapes. Took the new 12 to 20 Tamron with me.
I was going to say,
put that to its paces. Yeah, just went out and enjoyed that, and enjoyed a bit of family time. Yeah. But I think that's the only time I've actually been taken. I've been doing lots of stuff for photography, but not
not actual
necessarily
photography.
Actually, yeah. So I'm building a new workshop, but it's a retreat.
Oh,
it's a workshop retreat. It's a week long retreat in Kolkata, in India.
Oh, okay.
For October next year. So myself and my mate over there, Shivam, who's a local Kolkata, remarkable, incredible street photographer, we're going to run a week-long retreat. So different from a tour. A tour is where you go to pretty places and nice places and try and take photos and you give advice and tips, or this will be more actual structured learning, focusing on natural light portraits, focusing on LED lighting, focusing on off-camera flash, focusing on storytelling. So actually having different components through the week
and
that you have to work through.
I imagine not quite as much walking around all of the day. There'd be a little bit of it, but not as much.
Well, there'll still be quite a lot. There'll be like 2 major shoot sessions a day, sometimes 3, and they might be 2 or 3 hours each. Okay. So it's still quite a fair whack of shooting. But there'll be something I never ever do, which is image critiquing. So it'll be
Right.
like feedback sessions. But the trick is on the first night, so it's a 5 nights. You're there for 7, but it's 5 full days of shooting. The first day you bring 5 photos to critique.
You're going to
The
have to
second day,
come up
4.
with 500 synonyms for crap.
Yeah, well, I got them, baby. Don't worry about that. But it's 5 on the first night, 4 on the second, 3 on the third, 2, and then 1. You have to. So you're even curating during the week.
Oh,
your own critique of your own images to refining to your best possible shot.
yeah, nice.
So it's kind of a mindset of it.
So hang on. So just to circle back on that idea. So
Yeah.
on the first day, they pick their 5 favourite images from that day.
Yeah.
And then the following day, they have to pick only 4 images from that day.
Well, it could be from either day.
Oh, okay. So they could conceivably
so far, this is still my favourite.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, but you've got to be really, really fussy because you might have 4 from the second day that you really love.
Yeah.
But now I'm discarding one and seeing which ones fall off during the week, and which ones stay, and to the point where you can only make one choice, and
that's hard.
I think it's a good exercise.
That's really hard.
It's very hard. Yeah, exactly.
I know from personal experience, like when I come back from a holiday, and I've, maybe shot, 600-700 images, and I then start. Yeah, I mean, obviously I curate as I go on a night-by-night basis because I import my photos and I tag everything, and I'll generally post a couple of favourite images from that day. And, you get back to home and you then start thinking, okay, I want to put together a photo book. And then, trying to then whittle that down to a sizable collection, it can be hard to throw away images that you thought, I kind of like that, but it's kind of, more than I need.
Well, here's the other trick. You're not allowed to edit the photo.
Oh!
So it's because of time constraints. So no one's going to be sitting there. And also people's different abilities in editing. Yeah. So it's literally going to be you've got to choose as shot.
Right. So it's a straight out of camera critique.
Yeah. Because you can refine and make the image better, but what's its bare bones? What components have you built into the image that is photographic rather than editing? Where's your storytelling? You're working with light and all that kind of stuff. And the
thing is, that stuff teaches you so much more about the craft of photography. Yeah. I know that when I came back from Croatia, the very next Darktable video that I did was actually about the release of Darktable 5.6, which occurred only 2 weeks after I got back from holidays. And I put at the end of that video quite a quick changing slideshow of the images that I was happy with from Croatia, like where each image was on screen for maybe 1 second, and there's, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 images. And I had quite a lot of comments on the YouTube page, for that video from people going, oh, wow, beautiful photos, thanks for sharing, blah, blah, blah. And someone said something about the images looking like they didn't need a whole lot of work. And I said, yeah, look, a large part of it is absolutely trying to get it as close to, how you imagine it should be at the point of capture. If you can get that done, then the editing really doesn't have to be overly complicated. I said for most of my images, I import, I tag, and then in terms of development, it'll be rotate, because try as I might, I never seem to be able to get the horizon perfectly flat. I'm usually within half a degree or 1 degree, but it's never exactly level, and I'm real fussy about that. So there's rotate. So there's normally some cloning out of dust, because I'm forever getting dust in my camera from changing lenses out in the field. I'll generally give it maybe a little 10-15% boost in saturation or chroma, or a bit of both.
Does it go that low, does it? I thought saturation was only 50 and above.
This one goes to 11. And then and then a bit of a contrast curve. which is usually done with one of the tone mappers that are designed to, allow you to set your white point, set your black point, and then, adjust your gamma curve for your midtones in the middle. And I said, that's pretty much it for 99% of my images. It's usually that simple. But it comes down to, getting it right at the point of capture. Anyway.
I have absolutely no issue with editing, and even strong editing of an image. I have no problem at all. I just think that as an exercise in learning, especially in this workshop, is that the stronger the image you start with, the more you can do in post.
Yes.
You can only fix so many things if you've stuffed up the photo. But if your photo is really, really good to start with, you can do so much more with it. So that's the goal, realistically. It's not to eliminate the need to even heavily edit a photo, but just give you the best possible, the largest range of options to do that. And the better the image you start with, the more you've got. So that's always been my philosophy. And I'm never, it must be done right in camera. It's just it's just like if you're building a wall, you want it to be straight away and fixed together. You don't want to go through, I've got to fix all this stuff afterwards because I didn't take care when I was doing the actual initial cementing or mortaring or whatever it is. It's the same thing. Just care with the starting product will give you a better longevity and more stuff to work with. So that's kind of the goal.
And particularly, for someone like you who shoots JPEG, and presumably, the majority of your customers do as well, I guess.
No, they're all raw shooters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you are shooting JPEG, then, getting your exposure right is so much more critical.
Yeah.
Because you've
even less wiggle room.
only got 8 bits of data, whereas, with RAW, you've got a little bit more wiggle room, as you say.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting very, very different thing. And living in one city for a week allows you the time to really explore. And Shivam is remarkable, and he knows, he's been shooting for donkey's years around the streets of Kolkata, so his location knowledge and access is. And the thing is, whenever you work with someone, normal tour guides and fixers aren't necessarily photo minded or understand vision. So working with a local pro photographer whose work is exceptional anyway, but it certainly makes things a lot easier. So having two completely different voices too, as far as creative vision, will be something different. So I'm just building that at the moment. Yeah, and awesome. I'm building my new talk for BFOP. The Bright Festival of Photography is coming up in about 60 days or something like that. Nice. So I've got to get my ass in gear. I only really started yesterday. I got me some work to do. I bought a battery grip for my camera.
Okay.
For my Sony.
As in a vertical grip.
Yeah, vertical grip. Yeah,
right.
I just find the camera's a bit small for my hand.
Oh, okay.
So I got that, and that's very comfortable. It's heavier and bigger, and but it's a lot more comfortable.
Got 2 batteries in it, and you can shoot on
exactly. Yeah, and you can see in the viewfinder on the screen, it actually shows you both batteries' power, which is really kind of nice. So that's the thing I hadn't thought about. But so that's the photographic things I've been doing.
And the thing I like about the Sonys when it comes to the batteries is it runs one flat before it starts on the second one.
Yeah.
Is it Canon or Nikon that depletes both simultaneously?
Don't know, to be honest.
I thought one of them was guilty of that. It might be Nikon, which just seems like a crazy idea to me. I'd rather have one go flat and I can then take it out, put it on charge, and keep shooting on the other battery.
Well, you can put another full battery in, and
if you've got a third and fourth batteries,
rather than having a half and a full power, or it makes a lot more sense to be able to just keep swapping out full power batteries. So then that works all pretty good.
Nice.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
Actually, I'm just waiting for my lens to arrive. I'm ordered in a 150 to 500 Tamron.
Nice. That's the same one that I took, the one that I bought?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I've got this new way of, if it works, I've got this new system in my head for showing how lenses see.
Okay.
For teaching how lenses see. Yeah. So I'm getting this lens in, and I've bribed my daughter $100 to be the model for this shoot, and it's basically getting a normal folding black backdrop.
Right.
Just your little collapsible backdrop.
Oh yeah.
And and out in the real world, putting that black backdrop in the real world, and then using that as your reference for size, and then showing how different focal lengths, where you need to stand, what focal lengths do, how it affects the image, where you can create a complete black background anywhere in the world, so by having a black background with you, but you can then visually see, I can create. So the point is, well, how do I learn to see like a lens? Well, I need to be able to look at the world and say, well, that much space is 200 mil, or that much space is 500, or whatever it is. I can create from that tiny little slither of area there, I can use as a complete backdrop.
Right.
So it's trying to teach people how to learn how to see the backgrounds based on focal length and angles of view.
Yeah.
But by using this visual reference now, I don't know if it's going to work because I've never tried it.
Glynn. Now, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but you do not need a new lens to prove this.
Oh, no, but I don't pay for them, Bruce.
Okay.
But no, in fact, I absolutely 1,000% did, because the world is very different at 500 mil than it is at 200 mil.
Of course, but you could have done this same thing with a 28 to 200.
But I'm going to do it from 12 all the way out to 500.
Oh, I see. You're not doing it with just the one lens. Okay, got it.
No, I want all the lenses. I want people to understand every focal length visually.
Got it.
When they look at the world, it's like I want people to learn to see with lenses like a caddy sees a golf course, a golf club. Yeah. He can look at he can go, okay, that's 130 yards. You need this club, and this is how hard you need to hit it.
Yeah.
And you need a left-right draw or whatever it is. Yeah, I want to elevate people's learning, because that's how I see the world. I can look at the world and see focal lengths.
Yeah.
And see, okay, I can use that space as a complete backdrop if I use this lens. And it's like being a caddy. As we're walking up, already changing to the right lens because my brain sees the angles.
Yeah.
And so a way of teaching people
and
how
obviously
lenses work.
you also recognise, before you're even in the position, exactly where you want to be in relationship to the subject.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So it's just I think it's just a really interesting visual learning aid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work. In my mind, it says it'll work, but whether I can translate that easily enough for people to understand clearly what we're trying to do. Yeah. Because you obviously failed already. But yeah, I just think it's kind of an interesting concept. So
yeah, right, nice.
Yeah, who knows? But it's just always striving to try and find different ways of teaching and visualizing and getting people to understand why we use the stuff we use. Why I'm sick to death of seeing videos on YouTube say a 35 mil lens is all you'll need for street, a 50 mil lens is all you'll need for travel. It's like. It's almost like you guys don't understand photography.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, sure. Can you get away with that? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sacrificing images left, right, and centre? Yes.
Yeah.
It's you'll never see a painter with only one brush.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go paint Sistine Chapel with this 3-hair brush.
No, 3-inch wide brush.
3-inch wide. Yeah, I've got the big roller.
Yes. But you know what? It's interesting that you mention this, because only in the last few days there's an account on Facebook that I don't even follow, but the algorithm has picked up that it's content that I might be interested in. And they keep on posting these infographics that have obviously been generated by AI.
Yeah.
And it's all about, differences between microphones and how to EQ this, that, and the other. And one of them was, how to get a great sounding kick drum. And it was like, these are the parts of the frequency response that you want to be tweaking to get a great sounding kick drum. And I posted on there and went, I really wish you'd stop posting all this AI generated rubbish, because this doesn't help a newbie at all. There are so many other factors that come into play that this doesn't address. Like, what size is the kick drum? What's the room that it's in? What sort of microphone have you got in front of it? What preamp is it going through? How hard is the guy kicking the beater? There's so many things.
How far away is the microphone?
Absolutely.
So even I know that.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't just make out that with the right EQ curve, everyone's going to end up with a fantastic sounding kick drum. I find that part of social media so frustrating, because as someone who understands that stuff at a fairly deep level, I know that newbies don't know what they don't know.
Absolutely.
And they suck all this stuff up, because you see the other comments going, oh, man, this is fantastic. Thanks for the great content. It's like, no!
It's the same. It's exactly the same photographic. It's easy to say, hey, just shoot with a 50mm lens.
Yeah.
But... and there can be times when people have this concept. There's one lens challenge. I'm just going to go out with just the one lens.
Oh, look, I got no problem with that, because that's.
I don't, as long as you're deliberately going out to miss photos.
Oh, absolutely.
To not maximise opportunity, to know that you're losing out by doing so.
Yeah, okay. But the whole point of a one lens challenge is that you are then constrained by that focal length, and your idea is to try and maximise the images
make
the
photo not suck because you're using the wrong lens. I'm using the wrong lens.
No,
in shot.
It's about choosing the photos that work at that focal length.
And you're walking past. What if something amazing and incredible is happening, and you don't have the? This is especially, and I'd always bring it back to travel photography. Obviously, Why would you sacrifice great photos for being pig-headed and saying, I'm only going to shoot with a 50 today?
Absolutely. No, I would never do that whilst travelling. But I'm saying that
I saw a headline for a video yesterday. Why you only need a 50mm lens for Europe?
Yeah, no. Hate that.
No, exactly. And it's like, my God, and especially when you're only in these places maybe once in your life.
That's not wide enough, and it's too long.
It's for some shots, and it's not long enough for others.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's a guy called
what I was trying to say.
Greg Cromie, who he's part of a company called Lucky Straps. Which make fabulous leather straps if anyone's looking for a leather strap. But I organised for him to have a 150 to 500 for Fuji a week or so, because he does product reviews as well. But he's only a street photographer. And he only shoots, his biggest focal length lens he owns is 50mm. And I got him out there with his little Fuji XE5, which is a small camera with his whopping lens on. Right. And he went off doing street photography with a 150, which on his camera becomes like a 225 to 700 or something, and he's out for the first time ever seeing, well, I think it's the first time ever, shooting with this massive focal length, and how it changes what you shoot and how you shoot, and how you story tell and all this kind of stuff. So I thought it was a pretty interesting exercise. Was again someone who's always limited themselves to this stuff to completely see the world in a different way. And if your photography is stifled in some creative ways, then going outside your comfort zone with lenses is probably a good way to change up how you see the world. Yeah. But I think this hopefully, I'm very passionate about seeing like lenses, and I always say lenses are like golf clubs. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, if more people understood, and I'm predominantly talking people shooters, not landscape photographers and so on. Yeah. But as a people shooter, understanding how lenses see is critical to be able to shoot. So, totally. So that's something we'll be doing a bit of in Calcutta as well. We're doing an entire lens visualizing, basically lenses as a golf club session, and so lots and lots of cool stuff we're going to be doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, mate, I'm going to have to make
so this whole,
tracks.
I know you got to go to work, but this whole black background thing is actually something I'm building for the Bright Festival of Photography this year.
Nice.
So we're going to carry a black backdrop around Bright and just show people how this is all the space you need to make a great photo.
Yeah.
This is all the space you need, and then we'll find something. We'll do the black, remove the black, and then use the actual real world so you can see how you've created and controlled the world. Okay, anyway, that's
nice.
it. I know you got to go to work because it's 10:08 and you started an hour and 9 ago.
Yeah, that's right.
But lovely to see you.
You too, mate.
Don't be a stranger. Let's not have you disappearing on me for 5 weeks again, and entirely your fault.
Of course.
Let's not be doing that.
Of course. Awesome. All right. Well,
Okay,
well,
I need to go. I'm going to go have a nana nap, and you enjoy work.
No worries, mate. See ya.
See you guys. Bye, everyone.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments, and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.